questions.
Your thoughts about Andy Ruiz and if in the future you can give him an opportunity for the title again?
Who?
Andy Ruiz.
Tak, każdy się da wygrał szansę, żeby formułować.
Andy Ruiz? I don't have 5 years.
No.
No, if you're given a chance fighting you. If you're not gonna fight.
Listen. It's, I don't know, maybe not, maybe after the Antey fight. I don't know. Now, listen. Now, just work like this.
And there is Oleksander Usyk responding to Andy Ruiz or the possibility of fighting Andy. He said, not now. He said right now, we're focused on whatever, right? It wasn't really clear. I think maybe the English barrier, but he said maybe down the line, maybe. But now, no. And let me counterpunch. You know, the top guy, the unified guy, Oleksander Usyk, you know, he's been dominant for a very long time. And when you're dominant and no one has yet to beat you, the line of opponents will get longer. And, you know, I don't see the difference between Wilder and Andy Ruiz, to be fair. I mean, if he said he was fighting Andy Ruiz, I think people would probably have the same type of reaction, like, yo, you ducked Wardley to fight Andy Ruiz. Even though Andy, you know, has fast hands, you know, his feet, not so much, but hands are fast, good puncher, durable, you know, very explosive punches, deceptively explosive punches. And, you know, him responding to Andy, you know, he took his time and he was like, well, look, I got a lot to do. So basically, to me, Andy Ruiz is not on first priority for Oleksander Usyk. And if you guys can remember, a few weeks ago, Andy said that Oleksander Usyk inboxed him and said, you know, there's a fight on the horizon between us. So I don't know how true that is. And I don't want to call Andy a liar. I think maybe Usyk or maybe his representatives might have sent him a message of encouragement, you know, by sending him something that sounded good but wasn't really true. You know what I mean? Because sometimes what I notice is it's like people will send people letters or lead them on in a way because they don't want to hurt their feelings or they don't want to really necessarily shoot them down. But at the same time, they don't have any intention on fighting them right then. You know what I mean? Not saying it will never happen. So what they do, they just string it along and have those fighters thinking like this is what it is. Just like I told you guys, like as far as Andy goes, Andy will take that and run with it. And you know he did because he let everyone know. He went public with something that was a private message. You know what I mean? So anytime you do that, that's a sign of desperation. You know, so Andy wanted that fight and he wanted to let the world know that Usyk had sent him a message regarding that fight. So, I don't think that he'll fight Andy. I think Andy needs to redeem himself. I just think that Andy is too inactive, you know, because he's more inactive than Wilder. So why would he even get the fight also? Then people are already giving Usyk shit about taking or wanting the Wilder fight. So imagine someone that hasn't fought since last year, right? Or is it almost a year before now? Because this is December. So he hasn't fought in over a year's time, wanting a fight with the top guy at heavyweight. You know, it just sounds too unrealistic to even speak of. But nonetheless, Andy Ruiz spoke of it, and I'll say this in regards to Andy on his behalf. He got that from somewhere. I don't think Andy just made up someone from Usyk's camp or Usyk himself, you know, saying something to him in regards to fighting. I think something was said. I just don't know exactly what was said. You know, if Andy wanted to really come out with some credibility, he would post that damn message. You know what I mean? He could pull a Dillian White and read it or something like that, like Dillian did to Deontay Wilder back in the day when Deontay Wilder ducked him, if you can recall. So you guys tell me what you think of Oleksander Usyk responding to Andy Ruiz and his thoughts on fighting him. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.